Now it's a podcast. Just roll the intro, dude. Hello, my name is Zach.
And my name is Nick.
And welcome back to Careless podcast, dear bud.
Oh yeah, dear buds.
And as always, what are you sipping?
I'm sipping on a cherry pie craft cider. It's very good. What are you sipping on?
Stone Buenaveza. It's a salt and lime lager.
How is it?
You gave it to me. You should know.
But do you like it?
It's actually really good. I'm very impressed by that. I thought it was going to be a little more limey. It's just not. But still good. So, guys, welcome back to Young and Dumb.
Part
2. We've done one of these before, and you guys really, really, really liked it.
Yeah.
So we got some notes on our phones here to express the things we're going to tell. We don't know what these stories are. So, Nick, would you like to go first?
Oh man. Maybe you should go first.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Alright, so... oh god, I love this story. Okay, so... one time... I'm going to close it so you can't see it. One time, I was at a Walmart, right? And I got kicked out of Walmart. I've been kicked out of Walmart a few times. You've been kicked out of Walmart with me.
Yeah.
Nick can attest. Was it ever my fault?
No.
Exactly. And that's what pisses me off about this whole situation. I got kicked out of Walmart with you. We talked about that in the first Young and Dumb. I got kicked out of Walmart because you and somewhere else were spraying silly string. Wasn't even in the same aisle, and I got kicked out.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
True.
So, this time, it was also not my fault. So, I went to Walmart with our good friend Grub, who you've heard us talk about this podcast multiple times. And we were walking out of Walmart, and I was like, shit, I gotta pee real quick. So, go to the bathroom and go and pee. And Grub comes in to go pee. Because I gotta pee now, too. And I'm like, alright, well, go pee. I don't care. And he gets to the stall next to me, and I'm peeing. We're in little urinals. And Grub just goes, wow. And I went, what? He goes, that thing's huge. Just trying to be funny. And I laughed, and I was like, not so bad yourself, brother. Just trying to be funny. And we're like giggling to ourselves because we're children and penis jokes are funny. And then we heard a toilet flush. We realized there was someone in one of the stalls. Like an actual closed door stall.
Oh no.
And we're like, oh my, well, you know, it'll be funny. And this guy walks out, rather heavy-set fellow, walks out of the bathroom, and we realize he's wearing a blue button-down with the Walmart tag and the khakis, and his tag just said, manager. And it was immediate reaction of, we're fucked. And this guy just sternly looks at me and Grub and just goes, you two need to get the fuck out right now. And Grub and I were just like, no. Dipped out of Walmart. So we got kicked out of Walmart. Again. Every time I'm kicked out of Walmart with you or Grub. Now let me do it again.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just hanging out, bro.
Just vibing.
Just vibing, and I get kicked out of freaking Walmart. Bullshit. Your turn.
Okay, so speaking of bathroom stores, I do have one on my list because this is just outrageous.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, one time I went to a mall, the mall.
The mall.
The mall with our friend Diabito.
Mm-hmm.
And we had done some like shopping and stuff. You know, as people do, you got to use the bathroom at some point. You got to make pee-pee.
You gotta make pee-pee.
You got to make a pee-pee. So
I love that you just gotta make a pee-pee. Little pee-pee.
Little pee-pee.
Little pee-pee.
Just a little pee-pee. Little pee-pee. So we go into the bathroom, you know. Didn't do anything what you did in the bathroom. Just business as usual.
I'm sorry that I hang out with a heathen.
I did too. I'll get there.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
So, you know, I go and I wash my hands and I walk outside. There's kind of like that long hallway,
Yeah.
you know, leading out of the bathroom. I'm just sitting there. I'm waiting. I'm like, dude, what is taking him so long? I'm just sitting there waiting. And he just walks out and he just starts waving. And I'm like,
Like, hurry up.
Hurry up.
Let's go.
And this dude pulls up his shirt.
Does he got the Texas belt buckle? Yes!
He just starts shimmying.
If you don't have a Texas belt buckle, it's when guys put their nuts like over their like pant line, and it looks like a belt buckle. It's called the Texas belt buckle.
So the logical thing that any friend would do would be you'd run up to your friend with his Texas belt buckle out, and you just pull his shirt over, and you're like, "We're leaving right now."
Yeah, that's
right now.
Really the logical response
now.
for sure.
I just like grabbed him. I was like, just like booking it. I was like, "We can't be here anymore."
Was there anyone in the hallway?
Thankfully, no. But you never know where the cameras are.
There's some poor mall security guy who's just sitting there eating like a grilled cheese. He looks up, he's like, "That's a nut."
And his friend.
That's a nut. Those are nuts. These guys suck. But this grilled cheese is too good. So, I ain't going anywhere.
He needs to be in cheesy.
It ain't easy being cheesy. Alright. Oh, God. Alright. So, I have two stories on here that are gonna incriminate the hell out of me. I just don't care because they're too funny. So, you remember, I won't say his full name. Groon. You remember Groon?
Oh, yeah.
You remember his older sister?
Yeah, she was cool.
I loved her. So my older sister and I had a like identical group of friends. We all hung out with the same people for a very long time. And my parents were out of town one night. My parents were really chill about like having people come over, just over at the house, you know, all that. And we were like, okay, cool. We'll have like a get together, like a little bonfire. We have like maybe 10, 12 people come, something like that. And our other friend, Joseph, decides to say, yo, there's this chick coming over, and her name is Natalie. We don't like Natalie. Natalie sucks. She's super mean. She's just rude to everybody. She's been so rude every time she's come over. We're like, dude, we don't want Natalie over here. He's like, yeah, but like, we're friends, and like, you know, like, we just have to, you guys gotta get to know her better. And we're like, all right, fine, bring her over. So we're like, well, what are we gonna do? We don't want her here. Somebody. Not gonna say who. It was not me, though. Legitimately was not me. Had this fantastic idea that we should go buy laxatives. And we should sneak them into her, like, food or drink somehow. So we went to CVS and procured some laxatives. We got chocolate laxatives. We got back, and we were like, well, we have to test them. I took the bullet after several beers and said, I'll test the laxatives. So the recommended dosage was like 3.5 to 4. I was not about to take 3.5 to 4, so I took 2. Like, that'll be fine. It'll be fine. Be fine.
Okay, yeah.
So I took 2 laxatives, and I'm like, I don't think this is gonna work. Maybe this is a bust. About 45 minutes later, no one's gotten there yet. We're still trying to figure out how we're gonna get the laxatives to her. The rumblies in my tummy told me that the laxatives definitely worked.
Oh, no.
So we run to the bathroom. I mean, straight up. I'm not shitting bricks. I'm shitting apartments. It's bad. It's so bad. I get done, and I'm like, those worked. And I only had 2. So they're like, well, we'll put the recommended dosage in them. And we're like, well, how are we going to do this? And we were like, let's make like a cookie brownie cake. And we'll say that everybody gets some. And I was like, well, how do we know that she'll eat those pieces? And someone goes, easy. We'll put them in specific bags for people. Like, it's not suspicious or anything, right? Luckily, this girl was stupid. So, we make like I think we ended up making a cookie cake that had like brownie in it and chocolate chips. I'm like, this is perfect. These look like chocolate chips, and we cut them properly. So we cut them properly. And everyone got like 3 pieces. One of her pieces had 2 in it. One of her pieces had 2 in it. And their other piece was clean. So we're like, we'll make the one that's clean not have chocolate chips on it. We'll give everyone the option of chocolate chips, but everyone's gonna eat the ones with chocolate chips. So, we got them in baggies, and everyone came over, and we are handing out a cookie cake that is pre-cut. And she went, I love cookie cake. and went right for the ones with chocolate chips and ate all 3 pieces in 5 minutes. So we're like, she's not gonna be here long. 30 minutes goes by, nothing. 45 minutes goes by, nothing. We're like, what the hell?
Stomach of the god.
Right? So an hour and a half later, we're all sitting there, and she's like, looking kind of weird. She's sweating. I mean, she's straight sweating, and we're like, you good over there? She's like, uh-huh. And we're like, okay. And then all of a sudden, we're like, are you like, you seem like you're like you seriously okay? And she just gets up. She's like, I need to use your bathroom. And we're like, okay. And she doesn't use our bathroom. She runs in and grabs her keys and goes, I have to go home, and leaves.
Oh.
And we're like, that worked. So Joseph is trying to be a good friend. He's like, I'm going to go check on her. And we're like, all right. So he leaves. She lived like up the street. And he comes back. He's like, yo, y'all want to hear something disgusting? We're like, yeah. And he's like, straight up, I don't think I'm hanging out there anymore. We're like, yo, she shit herself. And we're like,
oh,
really?
No.
How unfortunate for her.
No.
Apparently her car like smelled like shit forever. She just straight up and down pooped her pants. The moral of the story is don't be a dick. Don't be rude to people. You can't come to someone's house and call them an asshole or a bitch when they just are hanging out. Like, this is a group of people that always made fun of each other. Like, we always poked fun. And when you go to poke fun at her, she, like, yells at you and screams at you and tells you you're a terrible person. Ergo, she got to eat laxative cookie cake.
The crime fits the punishment.
The crime fits the punishment. Pretty shitty crime. Here's a shitty punishment. Don't be a shithead. All right, your turn.
God.
That's only one of my incriminating stories.
That's only one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Man. Oh yeah, I'll do this one. So I was hanging out with a group of friends. There's 4 of us. One of them was he who shall not be named. Shomo. And then Kyler.
Okay. He's at least out of those 3 the only one that's somewhat tolerable. In 5-minute doses.
Yeah, he's
once every 45 years. And when you're on a insane amount of drugs prescribed to you from a doctor, because that's the only way I could probably ever deal with him in my life. Because I've dealt with him for 5 minutes once, and I was like, that's enough of that.
That's enough. I felt like he was like I was like the only person he was nice to.
I would need like a horse tranquilizer to deal with him.
As much as I'm anyway.
Sorry.
Anyway,
yeah.
So one day, Kyler, we were all hanging out, and Kyler's like, "Hey guys, I want to stretch my ears," and we're like,
"As you do, yeah,
okay, yeah." And we're like, "So you want to go to, you want to go to the kiosk? We get them pierced. You can buy the supplies, like because they sell like those stretch kits."
Yeah.
He was like, "No, we're going to Starship."
Oh no! If anyone wants to know, Starship's a sex store where we live in Georgia, and a lot of places have it, obviously, but they sell like the worst possible jewelry ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
So we get to Starship, and he's not buying the kit. He buys, I think it was a 12-gauge hollow point needle. And like a 4-gauge.
Oh, no. You can't do that.
Yeah, so his plan was to stick the needle through his ear and then immediately follow it up by plugging it with that too. So he bought the tapers, the taper set, like the hollow point, you buy the taper and then the plug. So it was just going to go...
Oh, God.
So, we were like, don't do this. And he was like, I'm going to do it anyway. We're like... Whatever, go for it. Who cares? Whatever. So we're thinking like we're gonna go back to his apartment and get preparations ready, sanitize things. No. We drove up to the friendly watering hole that is Sonic.
You heard about that in our Scene Kid podcast?
Wow, yeah, what a tie back.
Call back to the Scene Kid podcast. If you haven't watched it, go watch it, nerd.
Yeah, wow. It really, yeah. Okay. So we're sitting down at a table, and he's like, "I'll be right back," and he
I hate that you do that voice for him because it's exactly what he sounds like.
and he just walks up, he knocks on the window, and he comes back holding like a thing of lemons.
Just because you saw The Parent Trap and they did it in The Parent Trap doesn't mean it works.
So we sanitized his ear and
Oh.
the stainless steel equipment with lemons.
No.
We're sitting on the patio. There's families. Like, because you know, like, they had, like, the under the pavilion, and then they had that one that was just, like, slightly off.
Yeah.
We were sitting in one that's slightly off, and there's, like, under the pavilion's kind of pretty filled. And he's just like, who's gonna do it for me?
Oh, no.
And so I was like, no. I forget who ended up doing it for him. We'll just say he who shall not be named. He did it for him. I don't remember who it was. It wasn't me, so I don't care.
Probably was him.
Yeah.
He who should not be named. Probably was that kid.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we sanitized everything, and he was about to push the needle in, and Kyler's just like, wait 1 second. And he just pulls out a cigarette. It's just like, I'm ready. So, yeah. So we straight up, he's pushed it through his ear. Everything went through. He's screaming bloody murder. He's like, ah, ah. And so we get the first one in, and we're like, dude, do you need a break? And he was like, do the other one now.
Oh my god, what an animal!
So then he just flicks the cigarette butt. He pulls up another one. He's like, I'm ready. We sanitize, just straight through, plug it.
Oh god.
His ears were terrifying. They were like cherry tomatoes with like this plug in it.
Oh my god.
But the craziest thing, they never got infected, and he never had a blowout.
What?
He never got a blowout. He, like, a few months later, he was already stretching up.
Dude, I've stretched my ears over so much time, and this ear has blown out 3 times.
He never got a blowout.
He built different.
Absolute unit.
Yeah, that guy built really different.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was crazy. He must have. I can't imagine the pain.
No. No. That is a... So
That's
from a
big...
12 to a 4 is a huge jump.
Yeah.
You're skipping 2 sizes. No. Getting pierced at a 12 gauge would be awful.
Yeah, because normally it's like, what, like a 22 or a...
It's like a 20 to a 22. When I got my nose pierced the very first time before I got it like redone, the guy pierced me at a 18 gauge, and I screamed bloody murder. I could not imagine getting pierced at a 12. I mean, I'm sure your ear would not be as bad as your nose, but like, dude.
Yeah, the weirdest part was like that piece of skin and that hollow point.
Oh.
It was just, it's like a perfect circle. It was crazy.
Good golly. Alrighty then. That's
a brutal one.
a brutal one. Let me look at my notes. Oh god. Alright, so let me just go ahead and incriminate myself for the final time.
Okay.
So, once again with Grub, because he's a bad influence, he's a bad boy. I'll tell you these last 2 that I have because it took place in the same day.
Okay.
I'll start with this one. So we were at a local elementary school that I'm not going to name. Not going to do that. And we were up there and we were skateboarding and just being, like delinquents, having a good time. We're skating. It was a weekend. School was out. And we had we always brought basketballs and footballs and stuff with us. Just we got bored, whatever. And I'm skating and Grub has a basketball. I was like, hey, throw me the basketball. Grub is not to be trusted. Let me explain that right now. Grub, if you're watching, you're not to be trusted. Fact. Boy. So, Grub, I know Grub's not going to just lightly be like, yeah, Zach. I know he's going to peg me with it. So I do the only logical thing. I covered my face. This is how I make money. Not really. This is the only good part of me. Everything neck down is a wreck. But I know neck up, it's like flawless. So I'm covering my face, right? And I should have been covering my balls. So from like me to the camera, this is about 4 feet, maybe. It's about how close Grub and I are together. And he straight up and down with as hard as he can. This one he was in like ROTC and like wrestling. He's in good shape. As hard as he can, just right to the balls with a basketball.
Oh.
I have never been hit so hard in the nuts that I've puked until that day. I fell off the skateboard, ruined my knee in the process. I mean, just screwed it up from like middle of the shin all the way up. It was just a skid mark because how hard I hit the ground, because how hard he hit me, and I was going pretty fast. And I'm not kidding you, I spent a solid 5 minutes puking.
Oof.
You know what Grub did the whole time? Giggled like a dick. That guy sucks. I hate him. I love him. I hate him, though. I hate you. I hate you. So, same day, I get over the fact that I'm no longer able to have children, and I begin skateboarding again, as you do.
Yeah.
And there was a cop, and we saw a cop rolling into the school, and we're like, that's not good, because we were with another buddy who I'm not going to incriminate him, and because he has like a real big boy job, so I'm not even going to say his name, but his parents told us, hey, yo, if you get caught, you're going to jail. Reality, we're probably not going to go to jail. We're like 15. We weren't going to go to jail. We were just going to get told to leave. But 15-year-old brain said we're going to go to jail. So we ran. And we climbed onto the roof of the school, because you could get on the roof.
Oh.
We're on the roof of the school. Cops going through. We're like, we're safe. We're good. And he stops. And he's just waiting. And we're like, shit, he knows. And we're like, we could climb off the back way. And we won't get caught if we like army crawl. And then he starts driving, and we're like, all right, sprint. So we're sprinting to the other end of the roof to not get caught. And my foot got caught on a wire. And I tripped on a wire. Didn't think about it. Whatever. We get out of school. We make our amazing getaway. So the next day, I get told, yo, did you hear what happened at Insert Elementary School? And I said, no. What happened? Oh, yeah, they ran out of power. Their power wasn't coming on for half the school. It looks like someone was on the roof and cut a wire. When I tripped on that wire, I pulled it out of socket and cut power to half of this elementary school.
Oh my god. Oops.
Oopsie! So
no.
There's that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
As an adult, I would have just been like, sorry, officer, I'll leave. As a 15-year-old who was told you're going to jail, I sprinted as fast as I could and knocked out power to a school.
Sky's the limit.
My bad.
my B, homie.
Alright, I've incriminated myself enough. Your turn!
Alright, this is actually the last one that I have.
Okay.
And you know, you said you don't trust Grub.
I don't. He's not to be trusted. He's a bad egg. He's just a bad egg.
He may feel that way about me.
Does this involve Grub?
It does.
Yes. Let's hear it, bro.
Okay, so I think it was middle school.
Okay.
And Grub and I, we were both like, I had played guitar. He wanted to learn. So my parents came to me. This is actually my parents' fault. It's on you guys. That's why Grub doesn't trust me anymore.
Next time I see them, I'm not going to buy them drinks at the brewery. Oh. Never again.
Never again.
That's it.
That's it. You're cut off.
You've had too much to drink.
So my parents found this guitar camp. I will say the name of the school because it's nowhere near us, and they probably still do it. So if people are interested in after the story, they can look it up.
Yeah.
It's at Oglethorpe College. Yeah.
Okay.
So my parents signed us up because it was supposedly a guitar camp. And I had been to some like classical guitar camps at UGA, and they're like, "Hey, Oglethorpe does the same thing. Do you want to try it at school? It's cheaper." And I was like, "Yeah,
that's cool. Okay,
yeah." So we told Grub, and Grub's parents signed him up as well. And so we're all like excited. We got to stay in like a college dorm for a week. Like as middle schoolers, we're like, "Oh, that's so cool."
No parents.
No parents play guitar. We get there, and so we're at the the introductory meeting, whatever it's called, and it was a choir camp
That's awesome.
that had one guitar
That's
class on the side.
awesome.
So they made us sing. Like they went one by one. If you didn't know what your vocal range was, you know Grub and I.
Grub has the vocal range of a dying cat.
So
Same here, so I get it.
They got to us, they're like, can you sing for us so we can see your vocal range? And we were like, well, just talk for us. We're like, we're talking. They're like,
I'm
you're
singing.
in this range, and you're in this range. And so the entire week, we're just like singing, and Grub's like, just doing. A lot of quiet moments. Met some cool people.
I'm sure.
That's where I learned about like the weighting, like the Texas belt buckle and the bat wing. I learned about that from that camp. It was a Christian camp too.
That makes too much sense to me.
So we had no contact with our parents, so they didn't know that it was a choir camp until the last day when they thought they were coming to see us perform. And then we all like trot out and we all get on those stands. My parents are probably like, this is a weird guitar camp. And we're all having to sing and dance.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't think Grub likes me. I didn't really talk to him.
Were Grub's parents there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I can see Papa Grub just sitting in the front row just like this. Just never thought I could be more disappointed. I love Grub's dad with a burning passion. He's so awesome. But he is the most straightforward human I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
He's just so... Uh-huh. And wait. Oh, so that means Penny, Grub's stepmom, was there. Her name's not actually Penny. I'm just calling her that. And that means... Because I know her. Her and Papa Grub are like polar opposites, bro. They are!
Yeah.
Papa Grub is like... And Penny's all, oh God! This is the woman who, when Grub and I lived together, we went to go get dinner at their place one night, and as we're leaving, I get 90 text messages going, be careful, I love you, don't wreck your car, I love your car, I love you, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, don't hit my deer, be careful, there's a lot of deer out back, are you okay to drive? This is the woman who acts like that. So I can only imagine what her reply was to seeing Grub at choir camp.
The only thing I really remember was like Grub's dad being like, wow, that was something.
That sounds like him. That sounds like Papa Grub.
Yeah, but yeah, that was an experience. You know, I should have looked up on it when my parents were like, hey, you're going to Oglethorpe, they have a guitar camp. Because I probably just Google searched guitar camp.
Probably.
And didn't read the fine details that the guitar camp was the fine
Way to
detail.
go.
That's on you.
That's on y'all. That's on you.
My parents were like, I'm so sorry.
God,
I had
love your
no
parents.
idea.
I love your parents, though.
They had no idea.
Well, that is it for Young and Dumb Part 2. I'm so happy we did this.
Yeah.
This was so much fun to do. I love doing Young and Dumb, and this isn't even close to all the stories we have.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen Young and Dumb Part 1, and there's more stories about us together that are worse. Young and Dumb Part 2, I've done 10 times funnier things. I'm sure Nick has too, without each other. So maybe we'll do a third in the future, depending on how well this video does.
Yeah.
But it's time for the outro, as you do. So let me just, get this little... Is it going to squeak?
That was good.
God, I hope audio picked that up. That was a solid squeak. Don't you dare leave this channel without liking it,
Commenting,
subscribing,
sharing,
caring,
click at that bell icon so you get notified when we post a new video.
following us on the gram and the old Twitter, which you can do right now. If you're on your phone, you can click links, description, learn more, or bio, whatever it says on your phone, because I don't have the version of the app that you do probably. And you just click it, and it'll have our Instagram handle, and I'll have our Instagram link. It'll have our Twitter handle and our Twitter link. Or if you're on your computer, make your life easier, because clicking buttons is hard. Why would you do all that? Just click the little icons that say Twitter and Instagram and our banner. So much easier.
So easy.
So easy. And of course, yes, sir, as always, we will see you guys next time.
Podcast.